if you're not pushing 110%, you're not going to win this race.
Welcome to Attica, Indiana, home of the RCV Badlands Brawl. The Badlands Brawl is the 5th stop on the Ultra 4 race series and the 2nd Spider Track's East Coast Series race of the season. Ultra 4 is a unique race series that covers a wide variety of terrain, from all-out desert to rock climbing. This year's season kicked off with an amazing King of the Hammers, where Shannon Campbell just edged out his son Waylon for the win in the Unlimited class, earning him his 3rd crown as King of the Hammers. The next stop took us to Sierra Blanca, Texas, where Waylon Campbell took his place on the top of the podium in the first ever Ultra 4 Baja-style race here in the States. Then in Oklahoma, we had one of the muddiest races in Ultra 4 history at the Clash at Crossbar Ranch. When the mud was conquered and the times calculated, Clay Gilstrap took the checkered flag. At the Metal Cloak Stampede, Levi Shirley got his first win of the season, followed closely behind by Waylon Campbell and Tom Ways. That brings us up to date for the Ultra 4 race series here in Attica, Indiana. Let's take a look at the course breakdown. The course consists of a 5-mile lap for limited and unlimited classes, featuring rock sections, a few man-made obstacles, tight wooded areas, and some dune-like open racing sections. After the break, racing begins with some major upsets in qualifying. Welcome back to the Journey to the Hammers, brought to you by RCV, Nitto, Jeep, and Can-Am. Welcome back to the RCV Badlands Brawl in Attica, Indiana, the 5th stop on the 2017 Ultra 4 race series. Qualifying kicked off Saturday morning with competitors on a course that can only be described as demanding. An optional shortcut down a steep rock face was offered for those who wanted to chance avoiding the cone at the bottom or be assessed a penalty.
If you hit it, squash it, get near enough to where it moves, I'm going to add a minute to your time.
The 4800 class got the first shot at the qualifying course, complete with plenty of rocks, mud, some tight tree carving, and one heck of a gnarly rock wall. The 4400 driver Shannon Campbell took on a different role than normal in qualifying, stepping in for friend Casey Gilbert in his Legends car.
Casey Gilbert and them guys, he broke his back yesterday pre-running, and they offered to let me drive his car, and I was like, hell, I'll drive it. Bit transferred over and rolled, and we were tangled up in the tree, and all I could think was, oh man, Casey's gonna think I'm a bonehead.
They said it was a good idea to let Shannon rent the car, they said.
Hired our hired gun Shannon Campbell to qualify and race for us today, and first time in the car, and he had a little bobble and ended up in the woods here.
You know, let my dad borrow a car. Nothing goes right.
Once the course was cleared of all 4800 class cars, the 4500 modified competitors took their turn battling for their main race positions.
The 4500 class is a very competitive class. It's a great group of guys. Everybody's in it to help each other out. You want to race everybody at their best, but once we're racing, it's very competitive.
5 cars started their qualifying round, finishing with Matt Howell in the 4510 car leading the pack with a qualifying time of 1 minute 31.85 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go!
The course is awesome. We're some real steep descents and good climbs, and it's going to be a muddy East Coast mess just like all of them, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
All 10 UTV competitors that started their qualifying lap finished with respectable times, with Evan Engelhart plowing through the course the quickest, going 2 seconds faster than Shannon Campbell for the pole position. Then it was time for the unlimited class to take the course.
Badlands is a place that wrecks cars. I mean, this place, between the trees, sand, and the mud, this is a track that absolutely will destroy your stuff in a heartbeat.
When the results were tallied, it was Bailey Campbell who ran the fastest qualifying lap, putting her in the pole position for the main race, and becoming the first female driver in Ultra 4 history to accomplish this feat.
I did not expect that I would be in pole position today. I'm usually kind of in the middle of the pack, and I'm just like so full of excitement right now. I can't believe it.
At the end of qualifying, the pole setters were Bailey Cole in the 4800 class, Matt Howell in the 4500 class, Evan Engelhart in the UTV class, and Bailey Campbell in the 4400 class. Coming up after break, competitors tackle the main course. Welcome back to Journey to the Hammers with a tech tip, brought to you by Fab School.
Hi, I'm Troy Johnson from the Fab School. Today I'm going to give you a tip on mounting shocks. 2 things we need to keep in mind. Contact patch to the bottom of the car, we need about 5 or 6 inches. Next, we're going to talk about motion ratio. The motion ratio is the difference between the tire movement and the shock. We want about 1 inch of tire motion to every 5/8 or greater of the shock. And then after we get that accomplished, then we're going to mount the shock at 90 degrees at full bump, making sure we still have that 5 or 6 inches. If you want any more tips like this, go to www.thefabschool.com. That's thefabschool.com.
Welcome back to the RCV Badlands Brawl in Attica, Indiana, where the UTV class is about to take the main course. Evan Engelhart had the fastest time in qualifying, with Shannon Campbell just behind, sending them off in the main race in first and second positions. But on the very technical course, it was anybody's race to win.
There's quite a few cars in the heat today, and just wanted to get out front and be able to keep pushing through and keep that lead, since there's not very many places to pass on this course.
I get to race this Razor because I lost a motor at the last race and we don't have a crank yet, so we brought this out and I'm gonna have some fun in it. It looks like a fun track.
After just 3 laps, Evan Engelhardt experienced an issue with the rear suspension, pushing him out of the race and leaving the door open for the rest of the field with 7 laps to go. After some confusion about course direction, Shannon Campbell receives a penalty, but with Evan out of the race, Shannon is still able to keep his car together just long enough to cross the finish line in first, barely keeping the doors on. Following Campbell in was Nathan Stowers, with Michael Lee hot on his heels for third. The combined 4,500 and 4,800 limited race kicked off at 4:15 with an amazing race course that covers high-speed desert passes, deep mud bogs, and technical rock climbs. The 4,500 modified class race proved to be a battle from the very start. Starting in pole position, Matt Howell led the 4,500 class, but had some solid competitors chasing him down.
So last year, the 2016 season, we had a very fortunate season. We had both a lot of luck and a lot of really good prep, and the car was phenomenal, and we just really pulled it out last season. This season has not gone the same way. And so here we are here at Badlands, and we're looking forward to not only completing a race, but finishing a solid finish for the first time this season.
Battling both natural obstacles and fellow competitors, Howell was able to keep his first place status throughout the 3-lap race. Matt's winning finish was followed by Dwayne Gerritsen finishing in second and Cody St. Clair crossing the finish line in third. These were the only 3 drivers in the 4,500 class to complete 3 laps. First out of the gate for the 4,800 Legends class was Bailey Cole after earning the pole position in qualifying earlier, a placement he maintained all 3 laps. Starting in the back of the 4,800s was Shannon Campbell and Casey Gilbert's car, fresh off the UTV course. Though he had to start in the very back of the pack due to his unforeseen rollover in Casey's car during qualifying, Shannon was able to drive his way up to a second place finish, followed by Travis Hatchett. Bailey Cole chased down the checkered flag in the 4,800 class, earning him the top honors with Casey Gilbert right on his heels. When we return, will the first ever female to start their Ultra 4 race in pole position be able to hold off her older brother and a mean field of other racing legends? We'll find out. Welcome back to Journey of the Hammers, brought to you by RCV, Nitto, Optima, Can-Am, welcome back to the RCV Badlands Brawl in Attica, Indiana. The unlimited 4,400 class is about to take on this very diverse race course. In the pack is racing standout Eric Miller, two-time King of the Hammers winner and constant championship contender, but qualifying has been tough on his car.
Checking over everything, and one of the wheel bearings was had a little bit of play in it, so we're going ahead and changing everything right now and going to go out there and tear it up.
Bailey Campbell is the first woman to ever start an Ultra 4 race in pole position, but it can't be ignored that Levi Shirley will be right behind her out of the gate. He certainly has a car that has the potential to win, having been built by Bailey's dad, Shannon Campbell.
This race essentially could mean it all for the points championship. There might be a switch up between first and second here. Third, you might have a guy coming from the back, getting his way up towards the front. So with Waylon and I being neck and neck, this race means a lot. This is kind of your middle of the season, whether you're gonna put something together or have something put together for the end of the season or potentially lose it all.
While Levi has his head in this race, he's also thinking ahead.
I'm just trying to play it safe at this point. I got a really good point standing. I'm leading the national points right now, so my goal is to just finish, and stay up front.
While Waylon and Levi are neck and neck for series points, Waylon's stumble in qualifying has him starting about midway back in the field for this race. But he's not alone. Also starting in the middle of the pack is Eric Miller, who both acquired a 1-minute penalty on the shortcut pass in qualifying. Though not quite as far back in the pack, but under the same umbrella, there is a nearly identical car built by Eric and his Miller Motorsports team being piloted by Josh Blyler, also chasing those championship points. Despite also starting further back in the pack than normal due to a 1-minute penalty, Clay Gilstrap's race started off great, but after a routine pit stop, his car started having severe engine problems.
Had a good race going. We passed 6 or 7 cars for about 2 miles in. The car was working phenomenal. We come through pits, everything looked good, took out, and then wasn't 500 yards out of pit, lost power, and couldn't figure it out, pulled over, lost oil pressure, and the motor quit, so lost the motor. At the pace we push them, as hard as we push them, it's going to happen every once in a while.
The Badlands course is notorious for being brutal, with top qualifiers like Bailey Cole, who earlier ran his car in the 4800 class and got knocked out early. It's easy to see how this series race is really a race of survival. Fighting his way up from the back of the pack after DNF in qualifying, Michael Heston proved he had luck on his side, at least for a while.
I think we blew our new motor, so Badlands strikes again.
With cars dropping out by the minute, other drivers were able to push their limits and make incredible time. With each driver starting individually and doing a total of 5 laps around the course, their times are adjusted accordingly for overall placement. This means that some drivers don't know where they're currently running during the class's competition, leaving them to rely on their teams to keep them in the know.
The first water hole killed the radio, so I had no radio contact with my pit crew and stuff, so I couldn't tell where anybody was at, where I was placed at. So it made it really hard for me to want to push the car. Obviously I had fuel pump issues and I didn't want to kill a motor.
Waylon Campbell was making up some incredible ground and gaining on fellow top championship points contender Levi Shirley, who was leading the pack after the 3rd lap.
I cannot get away from that kid. Every time one of us has been on the podium, every single time, and be neck and neck on points, I can't get away from him.
Hey, I've known Levi since I was a little kid. He's in 2nd in points right now, so I got to keep in front of him or stay close.
I'm a dust chaser, man. If there is a rabbit in front of me, I'm chasing it. Waylon had me as the rabbit, and he was running me down.
So Levi Shirley just come in. We're helping him pit when I'm out. This a teammate. He come in on the lap just before and he's got a cut front tire. So we were going to make the call when he come back in. He's on the white flag lap going out to get the checkers. So I made the call. So if something happens, I'm going to blame myself. The tire was still up, looking good. Send him to the checker flag.
I have no idea where I passed Bailey Campbell at, but I got around Daryl Gray in the rocks. And from there on out, we led it all 5 laps. Had an awesome race. One shot at the rock climb. Just had a flawless race. Could not ask for a better race.
After 5 brutal laps, Levi Shirley takes the checkered flag.
I have a lot of friends and a lot of family that spend a lot of hours and don't ask for anything in return, and I'm forever grateful towards those people. It's just pretty amazing to have the type of support that I have in my racing career already.
When Badlands was all said and done, Shannon Campbell took the top spot in the UTV class, beating out Nathan Stowers by just 2 seconds. Bailey Cole chased down the checkered flag in the 4800 class, earning him the top honors with Casey Gilbert right on his heels. Texas native Matt Howell crossed the finish line with the best time for the 4500 class, besting second place Dwayne Garrettson by over 15 minutes. And in the unlimited class, it was once again Levi Shirley for the win, with Waylon Campbell and Josh Blyler filling out the rest of the podium positions. Next, the drivers are headed to Bedford, Kentucky for the KMC Battle and Bluegrass race, where Levi Shirley will try to overtake current championship points leader Waylon Campbell, who is leading by just 25 points. It's going to get dirty.